welcome back out to the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. Today we're out here at the 100 acres. It's been a little bit since we've been out here again, just with weather, the sawmill, trying to get stuff done at the homestead. Haven't had a lot of extra time to get out here, but the weather is beautiful. Nice 70 degrees in March, so I can't beat that. Have this sycamore tree here that we've been fighting with. We're going to try to get it out. It's kind of a backstory on why. I'll do later in this video. I'll kind of explain what's kind of going on there and why we're trying to get it out and everything. So we're going to work on that. Plus, back around to the gazebo hill, going to work on getting that opened up. And I'll probably work on getting some firewood cut up, so let's clean up that mess. So basically we need to get a cable up in that tree. So that sycamore is there. Trying to make a ramp to where you can get the tractor up there and throw a cable. We've got rope or like a bow and arrow to shoot it up there, which is kind of our thought for future. But gonna push and then be able to hopefully throw that up there to get a cable in and then pull it that direction, which will be about level with. So you'll be perfectly perpendicular pulling the tree over instead of any down. So the idea is to get the tractor over there and pull that way. We'll get that sycamore tree down. It didn't exactly come down how we had planned. We ended up having to cut it. Even though we had most of the roots exposed, it still must have some roots going straight down that just didn't want to give up. So we went ahead and cut it just to get it out of there. So the story with this though is last week talked to the power company with those high voltage lines that go like over the pond and are in the clearing at the front where the drive is. Back around on the other side of the pond from where you come in is there's two poles there right at the edge of the water, and one of those poles needs to be replaced. So we came and met with them, and they want to utilize our path that comes back and around to get to it because there's no clearing the other direction to really get in. With that, they're going to have to widen out a couple spots and feather the banks back on a few other spots just to be able to get a bucket truck back and the machines and stuff to get in to build a structure. They're going to put a metal structure up instead of the wooden poles. So that part will be good. Once they are done with that, they shouldn't have to mess with it probably in my lifetime, other than, maintenance, which a lot of that's done by drones now as far as inspection. And then they'll do tree clearing, which, the part underneath the power lines in our part, on our property, will keep mowed down and cleared. It'll just be the stuff coming in that, every 10 years or so, they'll probably come through with a helicopter and cut that. So anyway, so with all that said, they want to utilize our path in and our path around. They're talking about doing that at the beginning of April, and are talking about, getting trucks and stuff back here. So with the widening and everything, they are talking that they're going to put number 4 stone, so good size but not huge stone, from basically the road where they're going to come in all the way around to those poles and then actually up the hill, kind of where our south trail kind of connects back in. Up the hill to that, because they're going to then do the pole structure just behind the one that's on our property. So they're talking about putting stone all the way back, so we'll have a stone drive that comes all the way through. This here we didn't necessarily have to mess with. They talked about getting that rolled out, so we went ahead and cut the tree. We wanted to do a little bit of dirt work here before they start going in and doing what they're going to do. We wanted to kind of raise up a spot, because anything that they do, they're going to widen a few, and then any spoils they're going to put in one of the holes that we have, which that's not an issue. So So anyway, if all goes according to plan, we will have a stone road that the power company will build, or have, you know, contractors build, from the road all the way around. So hopefully that works out um, to be like they're talking. It'd be, you know, a really nice thing to have that road. Um, you know, there's no way that we could afford to put that much stone down, even with trying to get stone out of some of these hillsides, the sandstone. The limestone is going to be much nicer and going to make a really nice road. It'll also get part of the driveway stoned, part way up to the house, and we explained what the drive is going to be, where the house is going to be, and you know, there may be a short period of time that they'll have to come back and utilize that, but like I said, for the main part of it, they won't have to get back probably in my lifetime, but you know, after the house and everything is built and the pole barn, we'll have different ways, you know, to get back around that, because right now their path is going to go right through what's going to be the pole barn and kind of where the um, firewood yard is now. Um, so anyway, so that's why we kind of messed with this. We wanted to get this. So we talked to them. They're going to take all this dirt here that's in this pile and put it down in that hole over there. We want to kind of widen this out, bring it up on this side, and level it out a little bit. And then that stump we left, they'll just push all that into the hole. They're kind of going back and forth. They're going to have a mini excavator here, a skid steer, and maybe a D4 dozer. They haven't quite decided with some of the stuff they need to do if that's going to be required, but they may have one out here to do stuff like this. And then there's a couple, you can see the ribbons on some of the trees here. They're going to have to take those trees out. So essentially how it will work is they will take, one crew will come through, and they're like the log or the forestry crew. So they'll come through, cut any trees that are marked, and do that. So there's a handful up the hill over there as well. And once the trees are down, because this is, you know, done with by, you know, this Duke Power Company, they have to follow all the state and federal regulations, which has to do in Indiana about the Indiana bat. So you can't cut trees past a certain point. So any trees they need to take down will probably happen, or has to happen, by the end of March. So they need to get those on the ground. And then anything worth size, we'll have them put like in our wood yard to turn into firewood. Anything bigger we'll obviously put on the sawmill. So we'll kind of determine that. Any of the really small stuff that they take it down that's not really worth, they'll chip up. So that's kind of the plan there. And then once that's done, they're talking like the 1st of April is kind of the plan to get the crew here that will move dirt, put the stone in. And then after that, mid to end of April is when they're talking about the power crew actually getting here and working on that structure. Those are all very tentative dates. The only thing that's kind of set in stone because of you know, the regulatory or you know, the requirements for the Indiana bat, you have to get the trees down. So they should be able to get that done. And then past that, the crews kind of coming in and doing the other work will be a little bit more flexible and kind of depend on what their schedule is and what all they have going. So we have talked to them though. They seem, you know, really willing to work with us. The main thing we're worried about is the stream back around that feeds the pond. You know, we don't want it disturbed. So, you know, we really don't want either nasty water coming in or, you know, have an issue where we don't have water coming in, because it does keep the pond full and just makes it look nice by having that rotation of water all the time. So that's the story with this. I'll keep you updated on what actually happens here, but if you start seeing changes as far as the main path, Obviously the big change will be stone, but some spots being widened out. A lot of that's going to be done by that crew. So if you see changes and see things like that happening, that's the story. Here, got this built up a little bit more substantial. It's fairly wet down here, so still have some ruts and stuff. So we're back around where you know, that north trail is. Widened this corner out quite a bit, so I took dirt from the hill over there and built into this corner so you can kind of sweep that instead of being right there. So anyway, so got this corner situated, got that built up a little bit, so now we can kind of work on grading this and just keep building it up and driving on it. It'll become a better and better road. Yard, trying to get it cleaned up. So the thought right now, kind of going back to the power company, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna build a trail on our kind of the bottom road here. So they're looking at the trail we have here that goes out and then connects to the road. They're gonna flatten this or smooth this out, kind of get, it kind of has a little bit of tilt like this. They're gonna bring that up, cut it a little bit, and they're looking at going right between these two trees here and kind of graveling all this. So then go around kind of our pile of brush and go that direction. So all these trees here are in the way, so I'm going to work on getting those cut up. We're going to bring the dump trailer over at some point this week, get all this firewood picked up, but I'm going to work on getting some of this stuff cut up into chunks, get as much as I can in the firewood pieces, and then anything else we'll probably cut some of the smaller stuff bigger and just get it in the dump trailer so that it's out of here. And anything we can't get, we'll move someplace else so that it's not in their way, so they're not having to jockey it when they eventually come through here. So I'm gonna work on, looks like I already have that one marked, work on getting it cut and get anything else here cut up, whatever I can. Okay, we're back over here at Gazebo Hill. So that's what Dad's working on right up there. So he's working on, so he got the path up there last time or two ago, but there was kind of a curve at the top, so he's cutting that curve off, and then he's putting it down here. So I'll show you something else we're gonna work on. And then around the corner, pole barn. So that's kind of our main way back. Well, we're looking at adding a path back through this way. So, gonna go through the woods, go on that next crest and follow it back, and then it connects back. If you follow that crest back, it connects back to the about where the pipe is, so it'd be a good spot to connect back and just give us another path around. So you can see he's taking that hill and just pushing dirt down this direction, and then he'll push it into that hole like he's been doing, and just getting it so we have dirt here. We have this little pile, so we'll be able to push this into that hole, but it's going to take quite a bit. started carrying a little trenching shovel with us. Folds up nice. We put it under the seat of the otter. Fits there nice, but it fits in, you know, like a spot like on the tractor. It works really well for cleaning out the bucket. Like whenever we're doing a lot of this stuff where the dirt's real gummy, it fills the bucket up. So you can take this and not have to have a full shovel to, you know, unstick that mud or that dirt to get your bucket capacity back. So something, nothing real expensive, but pretty handy for getting stuff like that cleaned out. Gonna do a wrap-up video for you guys. So basically today, came out here, we got that sycamore taken care of, you know, and that was in relation to the power company, you know, kind of doing their stuff here in the next couple months. Dad went around to the North Trail, started getting it built up, got that road built out a little bit more, make it so it's a little bit more drivable, and even whenever it's wet, still be able to get through there. So got that taken care of, and then went over to Gazebo Hill and started taking the corner that was at the top of that hill, taking it down to widen it out, and then starting on kind of another path that will connect back around to the path that comes back around the property. Started working on that, so that's one of those things that just the other one kind of is wet. Eventually we're going to start building there, so not going to be able to get around as easily. So this will be another path that we can utilize to be able to get back and around. And it's nice having different paths, and even if we don't use it, you know, the idea will be to use it for getting back around. But even if not, it's nice to have paths that you can just walk on, because a lot of the property kind of looks like this here, where you have just hills and trees. So if we haven't made a trail there, it isn't necessarily nice to walk. So like there's a trail here, that this is the one that goes back around to the back corner, and then you can take it all the way back around. I'll probably do one of those rides before I leave today, just because I haven't been around in about a month. So it's nice just to check and see, make sure nothing's down, and just make sure it's still passable. And a good way to just kind of check the perimeter of the property. So, so nothing super exciting, moved a little bit of dirt and that kind of thing today. So hopefully you found it a little interesting, kind of continue the saga of, you know, what we do over here at the 100 acres, and you know, all the little projects that we do end up adding up, and you know, are typically on the way to more things, like Gazebo Hill, making a path up there to eventually build a gazebo. The path back around on the north side is nice to be able to get around, but then also it goes right by the food plot. So maybe buddies be working on that. Kind of the end of April time frame. That may shift a little bit depending on what the power company does. They were wanting to do some turkey hunting, so that may kind of shift their timeline, but they should still be able to work on that because it's kind of away from that area. So we'll see how that works out. So thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. We'll catch you next time.